Hello everyone, my name is Himi and I'm working as an assistant professor in the PQH School of Education, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. And today I'm going to be discussing a topic. The name of the topic is teaching aids. This topic is going to be relevant for students who have opted for the B.Ed course. In this topic, we're going to discuss about the concept of teaching aids, the different types of teaching aids, the importance of teaching aids, and the different teaching aids that are available for students and for teachers to use in the classroom during the teaching learning process. So I'm going to be discussing this topic in different slides, and let me go to the first slide. So first of all, I would like to talk about teaching aids and what it means. So teaching aids are mostly referred to as tools and or equipments also, which are used in the teaching process as a supplement in classroom instruction and to enhance the interest of the students. Teaching materials, as we all know, are important catalysts for effective instructions, and besides the traditional teaching methods that are there are a variety of teaching aids which are available to the teacher, and they help the students to improve their reading and other skills as well. In the present age of science and technology, the process of teaching and learning depends on the latest technology. Teaching becomes interesting when the teacher uses different materials because it directly involves the student in the teaching learning process. It makes lessons enjoyable and memorable, and teaching materials are key factors in creating effective teaching and learning environment. This aids directly addressed to the five senses, so the chances of forgetting becomes much less in the process of learning becomes much more effective also with the use of teaching aids. Now I'm going to discuss about the different types of teaching aids that are available. There are many different types of teaching aids, but we're going to be discussing about three types mainly. The first one is visual teaching aids, which uses sense of vision, and it includes actual objects, charts, maps, flashcards, pictures, flannel boards, whiteboards, flip charts, models, etc. Then we have the audio teaching aids. Audio teaching aids involves the sense of hearing, and they are very common teaching tools which are used in the classroom. For example, the stereo system, the individual headsets, the radios that are there in the classroom. These all are examples of audio teaching aids. And the teachers can also use recordings also to demonstrate things like how language is spoken, and it also helps or it is also used as a recreational activity also. The third type is audio-visual teaching aids, and they have the very good impact on teaching. Here, both the sense of vision as well as the sense of hearing is involved, and audio-visual teaching aids are also called multisensory materials. They can be produced, also distributed, and used as planned components of a educational program. Teachers can use instructional or documentary videos to enhance the subject, any specific subject or topic, and it generally requires a place to project itself. For example, television, digital video player, projection. Few points which I have summarized. Now let's look into these points. So as we all know, that teaching is a social activity, and it is not possible to teach students without taking part in the process. So a teacher has and a student should both be involved in the activities so that they can perform better. And teaching aids are very important instruments in teaching because teaching aids have the capacity to involve both students and teachers also. And it becomes very enjoyable whenever teaching aids are used. Also, the learning becomes clearer and comprehensible for students, and teaching aids can be used at all levels of learning process. It enriches the vocabulary of students and also enriches the knowledge of students. Teaching aids are also very effective to increase the students' memory. What they learn with the help of these aids imprints in their mind, and it also makes the learning permanent, or it makes the learning retain for longer. Teaching aids also facilitate better understanding of the subject, and it discourages the act of confusion. It makes the subject and every aspect of lesson very clear and makes them successful in learning the second language also. The uses of teaching aids is very effective because it makes the whole process simple, productive, and enriches the learning activities. They also provide a natural learning atmosphere and helps the students to actively involved in learning, teaching and experiencing process. The use of teaching aids in the class can also heighten the desire of learning among students. All students participate in the learning process vividly and they can express the concepts effectively. Teaching aids makes the classroom more lively and active and avoid dullness and boredom because every student is involved and it provides direct experience to the students. The use of proper teaching aids also saves a lot of time and money. It saves time from the long, boring, explanatory class and helps the students to understand complex subjects much more easily. Now, we're going to be discussing about the different teaching aids that are available and that could be used in any classroom. The first one is charts, and as we all know that it is used for visual representation. So one of the most common and effective teaching method is to use visual representation in class, and that could be done with the help of charts. And charts are a combination of pictorial, graphical, numerical or any other material which presents a systematically organized visual summary of the concept or the topic. There are different types of charts also. For example, outline charts, flow charts, tabular charts, pictorial charts, organization charts, chain charts, evolution charts, etc. So all these charts are available and the appropriate one can be used by the teacher to make the learning uh, uh, and understanding of the students possible and so that the students can learn the topic more clearly. After charts, there are models. So models are also representation of an idea, object, system, or process, and it is also uh, a, a replica of real objects in appropriate size, complexity, timing, safety, and cost factors, and it helps the learners to get a three-dimensional visual representation. Models are appropriate to use when sometimes the original or the real objects are too large to be brought inside the class. For example, a model of an Indian parliament, or sometimes when the objects are too small to be observed. For example, model of a water molecule. So at this times, it is better to use these models to represent the concept. Models are also used when sometimes the original thing is not possible to be brought inside the class. For example, the model of a brain or intestine is just used because of these reasons. Models are of two types. They are working or static. Working models are those that display functions and processes, while static models are used to display structure. And models can also be made by the teacher also with the help of students, and they can use different materials like paper, cardboard, clay, plaster of Paris, wood, thermocol, etc. to prepare their own models inside the classroom. Here is a picture of a model, a three-dimensional models which can be used in the classroom. After models, there are display boards also, which are a very important part of the classroom, and they make the classroom appear more attractive and create a better learning environment. Display boards are boards which are attached to the wall of the classroom and which can be used by the teacher as well as the learner to display various things. And they create a visual learning opportunity for the students. The students enjoy seeing the changing boards and it stimulates their curiosity. And setting up and using display boards requires supplies such as background paper, poster boards, letters, markers, etc. Here is an example, a picture of a display board, and here we can see that things can be removed every day or changed every day. As a result, the students' curiosity increases. After display boards, there are flannel boards. Flannel boards are made of wood or cardboard or straw board, and things or cutouts can be attached to the flannel board and they can be removed also. So these are basically attached temporarily, and as the lesson progresses, they can be replaced with newer ones or with relevant materials. It can be fixed next to the chalkboard or, inside the classroom, and it should stand above 1 meter above the ground, and it could be removed and new materials can be used as the lesson it develops, and more things are to be needed are to be presented. This is a picture of a flannel board. As we can see, the things are attached here, and they can be easily removed also, as in when required by the teacher or as in when the lesson progresses. Then we have overhead projectors, which can also project many things on the screen or on the wall in front of learners, and it makes teaching illuminative, illustrative, and impressive also. And it saves a lot of time because the teacher need not devote a lot of time for drawing or writing long sentences. It can just be projected on the screen with the help of a overhead projector. And different teaching aids can be presented with the help of an overhead projector, such as charts, graphs, drawings, pictures, diagrams, maps, or even worksheets also. This is a picture of an overhead projector where we can see that a picture is being presented or projected on the screen, and the students can look at it and learn from it. Then there are maps, which are called two-dimensional accurate representations of geographical details, such as boundaries or continents or countries or mountains, rivers, etc. And it is important to note that when maps are being used, the students have to be taught properly about the key of index, the lines, the colors, the tints, directions, etc. And maps are, of course, of different types. They are historical maps, political maps, physical maps, statistical maps, dot maps, population maps, weather maps, etc. Globes are also there, similar to maps, but globes are three-dimensional, and they are used to represent the earth. And globes have been used for a very long time as a teaching aid, but these days interactive globes have become more popular in many elementary classrooms. For the interactive globes are electronically can electronically identify certain regions and provide relational understanding to many locations also. Interactive globes incorporate technology to answer questions and provide information, and this makes learning and teaching experience much more livelier. Then after globes, there are other things like radio, which is also very effective audio teaching aids, and it uses technology of radio waves to carry information in the form of sound, and information can be transmitted into the classroom with the help of radio. Televisions are also there, has been there for a very long time, and they are the most easily available audiovisual aid, and it is not being used to its optimum. However, it could be used, and things can be broadcasted with the help of a television inside the classroom, and it is particularly useful as a mass medium also. LCD projectors are also a kind of teaching aid, which again projects things on screen, and it allows the source light to pass through the three-colored liquid crystal display light panel, and this panel allows some colors to pass through the block and some colors to form images on the screen. Here's a picture of an LCD projector, which is very useful in any classroom. Then there are puppets, which are very inexpensive. They could be made movable, or they could be attached to a string, or they could be fixed in hands, and as the picture shows, and a storytelling session can go on with the help of these puppets. And they become very interesting for the students and also provide a sense of fun also for the students. Then there are field trips. Field trips are also a very important part because they get to go outside the regular classroom and learn things with first-on experience. For example, going to a handicraft village, etc. And field trips can be made to zoos or educational institutions, museums, etc., where students can go along with the teacher, and they can learn things from a closer perspective, and teachers help them post the field trip by an evaluation. Then there are exhibitions also. The exhibitions are project presentations or products through which the students exhibit what they have learned, and it is a way of demonstrating whether and to what degree they have achieved the expected learning objectives. So this is our different types of teaching aids. I would like to thank you all for listening to this video. Thank you once again.